In this lesson, we focus on security in Azure. Security is critical for any cloud solution. The AZ-204 exam dedicates 15 to 20% of its content to implementing security. You must know how to authenticate, authorize, protect secrets, and secure data. Why does security matter for developers? Because even if you write perfect code, a weak security configuration can expose sensitive information or allow unauthorized access. Mini review. Security in Azure means authentication, authorization, secret management, and encryption. What is Microsoft Entra ID? Formerly known as Azure Active Directory, it is Microsoft's identity and access management service for the cloud. How do applications use Entra ID? They register in Entra ID and receive a client ID. They can then authenticate users with OAuth 2 or OpenID Connect. What is single sign-on? It allows users to authenticate once and access multiple applications without logging in again. What is conditional access? It enforces policies based on user risk, device, or location. Mini review. Authentication equals app registration, OAuth, single sign-on, and conditional access. What is authorization? It is the process of determining what an authenticated identity can do in Azure. How is authorization implemented in Azure? With role-based access control, or RBAC. Users, groups, or managed identities are assigned roles at different scopes. What are common roles? Owner, contributor, reader, and service-specific roles such as storage Blob data reader or Cosmos DB operator. What is scope? Roles can be assigned at subscription, resource group, or resource level. Permissions flow downward. Mini review. Authorization equals RBAC with roles, scopes, and least privilege principle. What are managed identities? They are identities managed by Azure that allow services to authenticate without credentials in code. How do they work? When enabled on an Azure resource like App Service, Azure automatically provisions an identity in Entra ID. That identity can be granted permissions to access other resources. Why use managed identities? They eliminate secrets in code, reduce risk, and integrate seamlessly with Azure SDKs. Mini review. Managed identities equal secure authentication between services without storing credentials. What is Azure Key Vault? It is a secure store for secrets, keys, and certificates. Why use Key Vault? To protect API keys, database connection strings, and cryptographic keys. How do applications access secrets? With SDKs or REST APIs, authenticating with managed identities or service principals. What is access policy versus RBAC and Key Vault? Access policies are the older model. RBAC is now the recommended model for fine-grained control. Mini review. Key Vault is central to secret management, accessed with managed identities and RBAC. How is data protected in Azure? By default, Azure encrypts data at rest with Microsoft managed keys. What are customer managed keys? You can provide your own encryption keys stored in Key Vault for greater control. What about encryption in transit? Azure services use TLS to encrypt data between clients and services. How do you protect sensitive configuration values? By storing them in Key Vault or using app configuration with Key Vault references. Mini review. Data protection equals encryption at rest, encryption in transit, and secure handling of sensitive values. What are virtual network service endpoints? They allow resources like storage, accounts to only be accessible through a virtual network. What are private endpoints? They map a private IP address from your VNET to an Azure service, isolating it from the public internet. How do firewalls apply in storage and databases? You can configure allowed IP ranges or VNET rules. Exam tip. While networking is not the focus of AZ-204, you must know that developers can secure services with endpoints and firewalls. Mini review. Network security equals service endpoints, private endpoints, and firewalls. Scenario 1. An application must access Cosmos DB without exposing keys. Solution: enable managed identity on the app service and grant it Cosmos DB data contributor. Scenario 2. You must protect database connection strings. Solution: store them in Key Vault and reference them in configuration. Scenario 3. You must allow only internal traffic to a storage account. Solution: configure a private endpoint or VNET rules. Scenario 4. You must ensure user authentication for a web app. Solution: register the app in Entra ID and integrate OAuth flow. Scenario 5. You must control who can manage secrets in Key Vault. Solution: use RBAC roles such as Key Vault Secrets Officer. Mini review. Match real-world security needs with Entra ID, RBAC, Key Vault, managed identities, and networking features. Best practice 1. Apply least privilege. Grant only the roles required for a task. Best practice 2. Never embed secrets in code. Always use managed identities or Key Vault. Best practice 3. Use RBAC instead of access keys wherever possible. Best practice 4. Monitor access logs in Key Vault and Entra ID to detect suspicious activity. Best practice 5. Combine multiple layers. Use authentication, authorization, secret management, encryption, and networking controls together. Mini review. Security best practices equal least privilege. No secrets in code, RBAC, monitoring, and defense in depth. Review time. Security is 15 to 20% of the exam. You must know authentication, authorization, managed identities, Key Vault, and encryption. Authentication. Use Microsoft Entra ID with OAuth and OpenID Connect. Authorization. Implement role-based access control at proper scope. Managed identities. Authenticate services securely without credentials. Key Vault. Centralize secrets, keys, and certificates with RBAC. Data protection. Encryption at rest, encryption in transit, secure configurations. Network security. Private endpoints, service endpoints, and firewalls. Scenarios. Apply the right security feature to the requirement. Best practices. Least privilege, managed identities, RBAC, monitoring, and layered defense. Final note. Mastering security ensures your solutions are safe, compliant, and aligned with real enterprise expectations.